Welcome to our step-by-step guide on stress testing a tight budget. Today, we will transform a vulnerable money situation into a resilient plan using practical, actionable moves. We will begin with a quick snapshot of the numbers, then move into the most urgent priorities, including eliminating high-interest debt and boosting income. After that, we will design a 30-day action sprint and a longer roadmap for financial security. Finally, we will review key points and test your knowledge with quick quizzes. Now, let's first understand why stress testing your budget matters. When essential expenses nearly consume your take-home pay, small surprises can become big crises. Stress testing your budget helps you find weaknesses, prioritize fixes, and create buffer space. In other words, it is a controlled way to find and repair leaks before the ship sinks. With that mindset, let's lay out our roadmap for today's session. Here is our plan. First, we will examine the budget snapshot. Next, we will tackle the critical debt dilemma and why credit card balances must be eliminated before focusing on the car loan. Then, we will craft an income boost plan and translate it into a 30-day action sprint. Afterward, we will outline a long-term protocol covering debt reduction, emergency funds, retirement matching, and future-proofing. Finally, we will reinforce the learning with a couple of short quizzes. To ensure clarity, let's address an important disclaimer. Before we proceed, please note that this content is for educational purposes only and does not constitute individualized financial advice. Your situation may require tailored guidance from a licensed professional. With that in mind, let's review the numbers in this example scenario so we can apply the strategies appropriately. Let's quantify the situation. The take-home pay is approximately $2,750. Essential expenses total roughly $2,375. That leaves a cushion of about $375, which is just under 14% of income, and therefore, very thin. There is a savings buffer of approximately $3,000, which is helpful but limited. A recent used car purchase introduced a modest auto loan. With these inputs, the budget is fragile and requires precise action. Now that we see the scope, let's visualize the decision-making sequence to stabilize this budget. This flowchart starts with calculating income and essential expenses, then checks whether the remaining cushion is under 15%, which indicates elevated risk. If there is any revolving credit card debt, the next step is to stop making only minimum payments and instead use excess income and any savings above a $1,000 floor to eliminate those balances, using an avalanche method by highest APR. After credit cards are fully paid, attention turns to the car loan to accelerate payoff and free up monthly cash flow. In parallel, the chart emphasizes increasing income and trimming expenses to accelerate progress from both sides. The next checkpoint is whether the emergency fund has reached approximately 3 months of total expenses, around $7,500 in this scenario. Upon reaching that target, the plan calls for maximizing any employer retirement match or establishing and funding an IRA if no match is available, and finally building a car sinking fund to avoid future auto debt. With the decision flow established, let's dive into the critical debt dilemma in more detail. High-interest revolving credit card debt is the most dangerous element in a tight budget. Continuing to make only minimum payments prolongs repayment and keeps interest costs high. Therefore, stop minimum-only payments immediately. Maintain a $1,000 emergency floor in savings and deploy the rest of the buffer, along with any monthly surplus, to eliminate high-interest balances. Use the avalanche method, paying the highest APR card first while making minimums on the others, then rolling payments down the list. Do not prepay the auto loan until all credit card balances are zero. After the revolving debt is eliminated, redirect that payment power to the car loan to rapidly free up monthly cash flow. With the debt strategy clear, it helps to compare the avalanche and snowball approaches briefly. The avalanche method targets the highest interest rate first and minimizes total interest paid, making it the mathematically optimal approach. However, it may take longer to close the first account, which can challenge motivation. In contrast, the snowball method targets the smallest balance first, closing accounts more quickly and creating psychological momentum, but it can result in higher overall interest costs. Both approaches work, but given the tight budget and the need to reduce interest expenses as fast as possible, the avalanche method is generally preferred. Now that we have addressed debt strategy, let's pivot to increasing income to accelerate the plan. To strengthen a thin budget quickly, focus on increasing income. Ask for overtime or extra shifts where possible. Pitch fast turnaround freelance gigs, such as editing, tutoring, design tasks, or local deliveries. Monetize a specific skill by offering a small workshop or creating a short online resource. Sell unused items to raise cash immediately. Call service providers to negotiate lower rates on insurance, phone, and internet by requesting promotional pricing. Then, schedule 2 to 3 evenings per week and 1 weekend block for income generation. Finally, automate transfers so that new income flows directly to debt payments rather than discretionary spending. With that extra cash flow planned, let's translate it into a 30-day action sprint. This 30-day sprint converts intention into action. In days 1 through 3, list every debt with balances, interest rates, and minimums, and set a $1,000 emergency floor. Automate payments and transfers. During days 4 through 10, add overtime or one quick side gig to generate $200 to $400 of extra income. From days 11 through 17, negotiate bills and trim subscriptions to save $50 to $150 per month. In days 18 through 24, sell unused items to raise $150 to $300. In the final days, deploy the combined lump sum and monthly surplus to the highest APR debt, ideally eliminating the first balance. With the initial sprint in hand, we now need a longer-term roadmap. This Gantt chart spreads the strategy across 9 months. Phase 1 spans months 1 through 3 and focuses on eliminating high-interest credit card debt through 3 consecutive sprints. The completion of Phase 1 marks a milestone where credit card balances are zero. Phase 2, from months 4 through 6, targets the car loan with aggressive principal payments, dependent on the completion of Phase 1. In parallel, Phase 3 begins in month 4 and continues through month 9, building the emergency fund toward approximately $7,500. Subsequent milestones include clearing the car loan and reaching the emergency fund target. With the roadmap visible, let's shore up spending guardrails and quick wins to protect progress. To stabilize cash flow, trim discretionary categories with minimal lifestyle impact. For food, use meal prepping and bulk purchases and limit takeout to once per week. For transportation, batch errands, consider carpooling, and review insurance coverage and deductibles for potential savings. Audit subscriptions and cancel underused services, or rotate them monthly. For utilities, adjust thermostat settings, use efficient lighting, and reduce water usage. For telecommunications, evaluate lower tiers and request retention discounts. Avoid bank fees, and set an automatic transfer to savings immediately after payday. As a quick reference, use a simple equation of income minus essentials minus debt equals discretionary. If the cushion is below 15%, activate a plan consisting of income boosts, expense trims, and a ban on new debt. With these guardrails in place, let's test your understanding with a quick quiz. Question: when carrying credit card debt and a new car loan, what should you prioritize first? Option A: make extra car loan payments to reduce the terms. Option B: continue making only minimum payments on credit cards. Option C: use savings above a $1,000 floor and extra income to pay off credit cards first. Option D: split extra money equally between car and credit cards. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is to use savings above a $1,000 floor and extra income to pay off credit cards first. High-interest revolving balances accumulate interest rapidly, so removing them first reduces total costs and accelerates your progress. Now that we have addressed the priority order, let's reinforce the emergency fund target with a second quick question. Question: after clearing high-interest credit card debt, what near-term emergency fund target should you aim for in this scenario? Option A: $1,000. Option B: $3,000. Option C: $7,500, about 3 months of expenses. Option D: $15,000, about 6 months of expenses. You may pause the video now to consider your answer. We will reveal and explain the answer next. The correct answer is $7,500, which is approximately 3 months of expenses in this scenario. This level of emergency savings provides a meaningful buffer against common disruptions while you continue progressing on other financial goals. Next, let's convert all of these ideas into a concise checklist you can follow. Use this checklist to guide your actions. If the budget cushion is under 15%, take immediate steps. Conduct a debt blitz by eliminating credit cards first, then attacking the car loan. Prioritize income increases and automate those funds toward debt reduction. Build the emergency fund to around $7,500 after revolving balances are cleared. Always capture an employer retirement match if available, or use an IRA if not. Create a car sinking fund to avoid future borrowing. Finally, commit to no new debt and review your budget weekly with adjustments each month. To conclude, let's summarize the big takeaways. In summary, a tight budget can be stabilized with precise and timely actions. Prioritize eliminating high-interest debt before prepaying the car loan. Increase income and automate savings and payments to prevent backsliding. Build a 3-month emergency fund and create a sinking fund for your next vehicle to avoid future borrowing. Consistency and discipline convert small wins into lasting security. As a final note, let's close with a quick message. Thank you for watching. If this video helped you, please like it, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe for more strategies. I would love to hear your questions and experiences in the comments. See you in the next one.